What is going on? Happy 4th of July to all of you. Hope you guys enjoy it. Have a great day with the ones that you love the most. Celebrate American independence. Be grateful for everything that you got. How's it going, guys? It's your boy Marky Sports, man. Today we're going to look into the inside linebacker position group. One of those groups that a little bit underrated, a little bit not underrated, but it's not really talked about much. It's not really a sexy position in the NFL much anymore. We want to break down, did the Broncos get better there, or did they not really make any improvements? And how does the room look overall? Stay tuned and we'll talk about it. Before that, guys, hit that subscribe button. It really helped me out. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you love all things Broncos, Nuggets, Avalanche, and fantasy football, you're going to love my channel. Nothing is edited, everything's uncut, raw. And I would love to invite anybody that wants to join the channel at any time to come on as soon as possible. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, smash that subscribe button. Let's take a look at this Broncos inside linebacker room and let's discuss it. All right. So when you look at it overall, I think that this room is ultimately going to be composed of these players going into training camp. There's going to be a lot that ultimately make the practice squad or don't make the team. But let's start really in alphabetical order. Number one is Lavelle Bailey. He's an undrafted free agent that we took out of Fresno State. Don't really know too much about him. He's very much undersized. He's a little bit of like a hybrid safety kind of a linebacker at 6'2", 225. So we'll see what he's all about. He's going to be number 56 going into camp. Cody Barton is somebody that the Broncos signed as a free agent this year. He's a sixth-year guy, ton of experience. He's had definitely some up and downs, but he's a very, very athletic linebacker at 6'2", 237. And he is somebody that I think is definitely going to compete for a starting position. The third guy is my personal favorite, somebody that I'm always really intrigued by, but he's kind of become the Greg Dulcich of the linebacker room in a sense of like the talent is there, he's showing the flashes, but health is going to be a big concern, and that's Jonas Griffith, somebody that we traded for several years back from San Francisco, played extremely well in a starting role and also on teams when he got the opportunity, but injuries just seemed to derail a lot of his seasons. He's 6'4", 250, and an absolute freak of nature when it comes to athleticism and his size and his speed are really uncanny. The other guy that I'm adding, and I'm adding him into the inside linebacker room because I know that the coaching staff's been talked about him um, being used at edge. Doesn't make sense, especially after we had drafted Jonah Ellis out of Utah. I think we have a really stacked room. I think we've got a lot of good young talent, and I don't know where Drew Sanders would fit there. I think Drew Sanders needs to make his mark as an inside linebacker, you know, as an off-ball linebacker, because he is an athletic freak, and he's somebody that could be really, really intriguing. Tall, 6'5", very long, type of a prospect and a player. But he's somebody that I really hope that they can find a home for him, because if they keep utilizing him between pass rusher and off ball linebacker, how is he really going to develop? So I'm putting him in the inside linebacker group, Drew Sanders. And then, of course, we got our guy, Alex Singleton. He's going to be the starter. He's going to be a captain on this team, in my opinion. He's somebody that is just so fun to play, man. So fun to watch play. He really plays with his hair on fire. So no doubt about it, he's going to be the starter. He's really the only sure thing in this entire room. And then we're going to finish it off with Andre Smith, somebody that the Broncos actually signed like a few weeks back. Um, Not really talked about much. There's not really too much to talk about. He's a fifth-year guy. He's got some experience. He's played for several teams in his time in the NFL. I think he got drafted by the Panthers, and then he ended up getting traded to the Bills. Then he signed, played with the Bills for a couple seasons, and then he ended up signing with Titans. And last year he played for the Falcons a little bit. So he's he's only started a game in his career, but he's played in a total of 62. A lot of them is going to be on special teams. He's got a total of 35 tackles in his career. So really a journeyman at best. Don't really know too much about him. Don't really have the highest expectations for Andre Smith, but he is somebody that is on the team. And then lastly, Justin Strnad. We kind of know what we got with Justin Strnad. He's just really going to be somebody that's going to cut his teeth as a special teams player, a really good special teams player. He's played a few snaps. I mean, obviously in his career at the linebacker position coming out of Wake Forest, but I think he's going to be somebody that makes his mark at special teams on this team. So when you look at it, it's really going to be a positional battle between Alex Singleton, Jonas Griffith, and Cody Barton. As we know right now, we're going to see what it is with Jonas Griffith. Sorry, with Drew Sanders. So Jonas Griffith and Cody Barton, in my opinion, are going to be battling it out for that other starting off-ball linebacker position alongside Alex Singleton. This is one of those rooms that's going to be interesting to see because I think last year the linebackers were really kind of exposed. The inside linebackers specifically were exposed because there was a lot of pressure put on them because our D line was so bad at stopping the run. We struggled a lot, so it really emphasized them needing to step in and make the tackle. And if they didn't, then all of a sudden the running backs are in the secondary, and off we go. Jonas Griffith is somebody that definitely makes this intriguing because, like I said, if he's somebody that can be um, be healthy, I think he can make a really big mark on this team. When he had last played in 2022, he had his moments. He struggled a little bit here and there, but he was a little bit more of that jack of all trades type of linebacker. He was actually decent in coverage. He was good against the run, but he kind of just really did it all. And in 2021, he played a ton of snaps. He played really over 300 snaps for the team, and he was amazing in run defense. So he's always cut his teeth and he's made his mark a little bit more as a run stuffing linebacker. But like I said, he's got that size speed combination that's really, really rare. That you don't really see much. And so we're gonna have to see what ends up, happening with him ultimately. I think it's gonna be a legitimate battle with Jonas Griffith and with Cody Barton for that inside linebacker role. I want to see what you guys think. This is kind of one of those rooms it's a little bit underwhelming in a sense of we've got a guy in Alex Singleton that we like. I think is a very underrated player in the NFL, but there's not a lot of other guys that have a lot of intrigue really besides Jonas Griffith. But I think the inside linebacker position as a whole is something that is a little bit more. Um, it's kind of a dying position because you're gonna have you got a lot of guys playing the dime backer roles. You've got a lot of safety hybrids coming in and playing in the box, and I think that that's what we're going to see a lot of in this Vance Joseph defense. But it's gonna be intriguing to see what goes on and what we ultimately happens in this position of group sure. And I want to know what you guys think. Maybe I'm missing something here, but I don't. I think that there's really of the entire room that we just talked about. I think that there's three guys to keep an eye on, and that's going to be Alex Singleton, Jonas Griffith, and Cody Barton. Those are going to be the three main guys. Is this a room that the Broncos are going to add to? Do you feel like they need to add to it? Is there going to be any surprises? To be honest with you, this is one of those rare situations where I don't really know. I think it's just going to be kind of boring. I don't think anybody's necessarily going to step up. And I think ultimately the three inside linebackers on this room are going to be those three that I just listed. And the other guys, they'll either be special teams contributors or they just ultimately will be practice squad or won't make this team. So we'll see what it is. What we do know is that the teams that have the really special inside linebackers uh, have very, very good defenses, but those guys are so rare. You look really uh, league wide. You know, there's Fred Warner, there's like Patrick Queen, there's a few other guys that are really true off ball linebackers that make a big impact. But otherwise, other defenses are just kind of composed of guys that can have a specific role that they need to do, and that's what it is that they do. So um, yeah, that's kind of my overall take on it. One thing that I think is important to note with somebody like Jonas Griffith is that he's somebody that once you've watched him play, you know right away. You're like, oh, Jonas Griffith is out there. He's balling. But he's also coming off of a torn ACL. He tore ACL last year in camp, which was very unfortunate for the team. He missed the entire season. Coming into this training camp, he seems like he's healthy. He seems like he's very optimistic. He's excited to come out here. Um, but in 2022, he was a starting linebacker for the team. He played in 9 games, and then he was put on injured reserve. So it's like, can he even complete a season? I don't think he's had a year in his tenure in the entire NFL where he's played all 16 or 17 games, depending on what season it was. Um, and so we'll kind of have to see what goes on there. Cody Barton is somebody that, man, it's funny because there's a lot of tape on him. He has played a lot of snaps. There's a lot of good, and then there's a lot of bad. And I think with off-ball linebackers, it really boils down to fit because in specific schemes he's really good, and in other schemes he's tended to struggle. So what is he going to be? Is he going to be somebody that's going to be um, asked to play a lot more coverage to cover, um, whether it be in pass coverage like in a zone or cover tight ends. If that's going to be the case, he might have the ability to thrive a little bit more and play well. If he's going to be asked a lot to stop the run and truly be the first and second down type of a back, he might struggle a little bit more. It could also be one of those rooms where Alex Singleton's playing all three downs, no doubt about it, and Jonas Griffith is more of that. Uh, he comes in on first and second down to stop the run, and then on obvious pass rushing downs, they switch him out for Cody Barton. So that kind of rotation is something that I can expect there too. Um, but we'll see. A lot more stuff coming, guys, in terms of the positional group. We're going to wrap it up. I think we only have a couple of positional groups left to really go over. I do want to do a deep dive on the special teams as well, because I think that the punting position, I think that the kicking position, which is not going to be a lot of competition with, but special teams as a whole is something that's not talked about enough, but is really important. We saw that last year. We saw the improvement in special teams, huge improvement, and how that ultimately works. But we're going to have a punter battle, guys. We're going to have a battle at the punting position. It's going to be a legitimate one between Trenton Gill and Riley Dixon. And so maybe we'll break that down. But we'll see what ends up happening. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you guys have a wonderful fourth. Like I said, remember to spend the time with those people that you love. A mile high salute to everybody. And as always,